One exposure is too much. No, we're all very proud of it, and it's the quality has lasted throughout the years, and no, I don't think so. I think that
Loretta Swit, the acclaimed two-time Emmy Award-winning actress, is often heralded as a prime example of someone who thrived in the entertainment industry by establishing and nurturing the right connections. Let's take a look into her life story, highlighting her early years, her ability to navigate the complexities of Hollywood, her personal life, and what she's been up to more recently, while you also enjoy some rare photographs of her. Born on November 4, 1937 in Passaic, New Jersey, Loretta Jane Swit was the daughter of Polish immigrants. Her father, Lester Swit, and her mother, Nellie Swed. Lester and Nellie faced the economic challenges of the era, working tirelessly to provide a stable life for Loretta and her siblings. Lester juggled dual roles as a salesman and a furniture upholsterer to support the family. The Swit household was one where moral values were deeply ingrained, with the Holy Rosary Roman Catholic Church playing a central role in their lives. Loretta's involvement with the church's Girl Scout troop was instrumental in shaping her strong work ethic from an early age. As Loretta grew into her teenage years, she remained within the Catholic educational system, attending Pope Pius XIV High School. There, her natural beauty and athletic ability led her to become a cheerleader. Loretta Swit wasn't just cheering from the sidelines in high school. She showed her leadership skills as the captain of the women's basketball team. But it was the stage that started calling her name. She found herself drawn to acting, taking her first steps towards stardom by performing in school plays. After graduating from high school, Loretta got an amazing opportunity. What was it? She was chosen to attend Catherine Gibbs College, a place known for educating girls from wealthy families. Loretta didn't come from that kind of world, but her high school achievements were so impressive that she got in anyway. It turned out to be a great choice because she made a bunch of important friends there. Once she finished college, Loretta's phone was ringing off the hook with job offers. She kept busy working as a stenographer back home in New Jersey, then as a clerk for the American Rocket Society in New York, and even as a secretary for the ambassador from Ghana at the UN, but one job really stood out. She worked for Elsa Maxwell, who was a pretty big deal. Born in 1883, Elsa wrote books and columns, penned songs, and even hosted her own radio show. She knew everyone who was anyone during Hollywood's golden years, including royalty from around the world. Her parties were legendary. Meeting Elsa and working so closely with her was a game changer for Loretta. So Loretta was rubbing elbows with some pretty important folks thanks to Elsa Maxwell, who not only connected her with influential people, but also taught her how to mingle with high-class crowds. Loretta knew this know-how would be super useful in her acting dreams. She was all in for acting, but realized she needed to up her game with some professional training. Ballet school was too pricey, but her friend Elizabeth, who was part of the American Rocket Society and a ballet student, pitched in to help her out. Meanwhile, Loretta started taking voice lessons at the well-known American Academy of Dramatic Arts in New York City. There, her singing voice got really good, like ready for big stages good. Loretta was pretty happy with how things were going, but acting was still a slow burn since her high school plays. That's when she met Gene Frankel, a big deal in the off-Broadway world. She managed to persuade him to teach her, and wow, did she grow as an actress? She even went back to teach at his school later on. By 1961, at 24 years old, Loretta was set to conquer show business. She made her off-Broadway debut in An Enemy of the People at the Actors Playhouse. Then she snagged a part in The Balcony by the famous French writer Jean Genet. The 60s were a mix of small roles for her, nothing star-making. Then in 1967, while acting alongside big names like Don Rickles and Ernest Borgnine, it clicked for Loretta. If she wanted the big time, she had to move to the big city, Hollywood. And just like that, in 1969, with the movie biz shaking things up, Loretta Swit landed in Hollywood, ready to shine. Suddenly, all the effort Loretta Swit had been putting into her acting career began to show results. She wasn't an instant hit, but she was getting there, bit by bit. By the time she got to Hollywood, she had become this talented, stunning blonde with a warm smile and a sparkle in her eye that made everyone take notice. People making shows, people directing them, and the folks at home watching, everyone started to adore Loretta. TV was the new big thing, and Loretta started popping up in some of the hottest shows around, like Hawaii Five-0, Mannix, Gunsmoke, and Mission Impossible. She wasn't the main star, but she sure did leave her mark and got more and more producers interested in her. Then in 1972, the role of a lifetime came knocking. 2 years earlier, there was this movie called MASH, directed by Robert Altman. It was super popular, so CBS decided to make it into a TV show. Loretta snagged the role of Major Margaret Hot Lips Houlihan, the super sharp and skilled nurse. This role made her super famous, and suddenly she was a face everyone knew. MASH was a huge deal, right up there with classic shows like I Love Lucy, The Golden Girls, The Twilight Zone, and Sesame Street. It was on TV for more than a decade, from 1972 to 1983. The last episode, a whopping 106 million people tuned in to watch it. Loretta's character, Major Margaret, was supposed to be kind of tough and distant, but Loretta played her with a touch of warmth that made viewers really connect with her. Thanks to her amazing work, she even won 2 Emmy Awards. She owned that role so much that now, when people think of Hot Lips Houlihan, they think of Loretta. She became an icon, as much a part of the show as the show itself. Loretta Swit had her fair share of ups and downs. One of the big letdowns was what happened with the TV show Cagney and Lacey. In 1981, as MASH was coming to an end, Loretta was looking for something new, a show that would be a good fit for her and keep her on TV during prime time. So she tried out for the lead in Cagney and Lacey, a new cop show. She even got to shine in the pilot episode. But when the show got the thumbs up from CBS to go ahead, Loretta couldn't continue as Cagney because she was still tied up with MASH. The role went to Meg Foster instead. But here's the kicker. Meg was only on the show for 6 episodes before she was replaced too. Instead of coming back to Loretta, CBS chose Sharon Gless to fill the role, and she stayed for the show's 6-year stretch. Loretta didn't let this stumble keep her down. She took it well and kept moving forward. Throughout the 80s and 90s, she kept busy, popping up as a guest star on different TV shows and acting in over 10 movies. And she never let go of her first love, the theater. She got back on stage when she could, like when she played Mamie in the North Carolina Theater's production of a well-loved musical. As for her personal life, the story doesn't go into details, but it seems Loretta kept on rolling with the punches and making the best out of the situation she found herself in. Loretta Swit always kept things cool and classy. Even though she caught the eye of many, she stayed away from the wild side of fame. For a while, she dated the edgy musician Bill Hudson, but they never tied the knot or had kids. The only guy she married was someone she met on the set of MASH. His name was Dennis Houlihan, and he played a Swedish diplomat who got romantically involved with Loretta's character on the show. Their romance started on screen and blossomed in real life too. They were a pair for about 12 years. Not a lot of actors can say they've had as solid and rewarding a career as Loretta Swit has. Thanks to her roles on stage and on TV, she's made a lasting impression. She's the kind of person who looks after herself really well, and it's clear to see. The strong connections she made along the way have been a big part of her success. Nowadays, Loretta is still with us, keeping busy with her knitting and standing up for animal rights. She's even written a couple of books about what she's passionate about now. She's a jack of all trades and a real star. If you liked hearing about her, you might like this other video we've got lined up for you. Give it a click, enjoy, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more. Catch you in the next one.